Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
चंदन तपड़िया साहब की शायद आवाज़ फिलहाल स्क्रीन पर नहीं जुड़ती हुई दिख रही है। चलिए, फिलहाल आपके सामने राकेश झुनझुनवाला साहब अपनी राय देते हुए दिखेंगे इस शानदार बजट पर।
What the government has promised by way of this budget, and I want to link that to what you believe could be the trend going forward. The capex emphasis as part of this budget, the focus on infrastructure, whether it is higher outlay as far as spends are concerned, the DFI which the government has decided to set up, which also legislative framework will provide for private sector DFIs as well. How are you now reading the infrastructure story and what it can mean for growth in the next 3 to 5 years?
I see so much of money coming into this country that we'll not be able to absorb it, I'm afraid. Second thing is, I think the budget deficit for the first time, instead of 9.5% in the current year, I think it will be between 8.5 and 9. And the extension of 6.8, it will be between 6 and 6.5. You can say that in your town hall, and I'm ready to have a bet. The budget, the tax collections will be much higher than what the government has projected. I'm ready to have a bet with anybody who
wants. The government believes that. The Economic Affairs Secretary as well as the Revenue Secretary both believe that they have understated revenue collections, and they do believe that they will be able to deliver a better number in terms of tax collections and thereby also perhaps better the 6.8% fiscal deficit target.
Absolutely,
so yes, already that is the point that has been made by the government on our shows.
Absolutely, and I believe it. I think tax collection this year will be at least 1 lakh crores higher than what they've estimated, and next year also about 1.5 lakh crores higher. And the government emphasis on capital expenditure. And ma'am, this is what India needs. We partly came out of the sanctions of bullshit socialism in 91, and this is a second moment. I think this budget and the political message the government has conveyed is no lesser important than what happened in 91. And now we are doing it. Rajiv Gandhi said that whatever social welfare we do, 15 paise goes to the poor. Now I think out of 190 paise goes to the poor. And they are not only schemes. See, government has now abolished kerosene subsidy because there is no need for it. You are giving them gas. And also the transparency where the entire food subsidy has been brought into the budget. So we have a realistic budget, we have a practical budget, we have a budget for a resurgent and rejuvenated India, right? And I don't know, how can you support these farmers in what they are trying to do? We are making wheat worth 1 lakh crores which nobody wants to eat, which is rotting in the godowns.
Right.
About 5% of India's farmers are against this law.
I'll come to the farm laws in a second. I just wanted to continue the conversation on infrastructure, Rakesh, because what we have seen this budget announce is also a significant capex outlay, an increase in the capex outlay for roads, transport, and the highways ministry. And while that is the sort of obvious infrastructure push, there are also other interesting elements that have developed over the last 3-4 years and have gotten an additional push this time around. For instance, the water mission, sanitation, Swachh Bharat. How do you see that side of the infrastructure, healthcare, a new healthcare scheme being announced? How do you see the opportunities opening up on this side of the infrastructure story?
And 30 to 40% of the diseases which children get and deaths are caused by waterborne diseases. Once we have clean water in every household, you know what it means for India? What it means for the poor? I think the emphasis on sanitation, clean water, I mean the importance, I cannot imagine how important it is. As an Indian, suppose the budget increases my wealth, what difference is it going to make to me? But if clean water can be given to every Indian, right, that is the time when I will feel happy. It's not only talk now, it's reality. And I spoke to some NRIs. What did I tell them? What did America give them? People are not understanding the change. What America gave the NRIs is a platform. when the energy unleashed, you don't know what can happen in this country. And I'm not some bloody politician. I'm Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Share Bazaar, Road Sharp. Right? But I have to see reality as it is. I'm not talking this because I'm a politician. But do we realize the importance of, and if we don't have growth, Shireen, if we don't have growth, where will we get the money for social justice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's absolutely no argument with that. There is no argument with the growth, with the fact that we need higher growth to deliver on social justice. But you said you're not a politician and you're speaking as Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the big bull. I'm adding the big bull to it, and of course you're going to put your money where your mouth is, and you have put your money where your mouth is.
Shireen, all people are bulls are always big. So why do you say big bull? You call me a bull, I have to be big.
Okay, all right. So since we're talking about where you're going to put money now, Rakesh, and where you believe that the investment is going to start to come in, you said that there's going to be investments that we will not have the absorptive capacity. No, not you specifically, but where do you believe that, whether it's domestic investment or foreign investment, which sectors do you believe that the money is going to come into?
Shireen, the biggest money is going to come from the sovereigns and the pension funds, and it's going to come in infrastructure. When we encash the InvITs, the power grids, the roads, I think next year the toll collection in India will be 50,000 crores. You'll start such a good circle of, that the money of the tolls will give us the power to build, and the power to build will give us more tolls. And I think one of the best achievements in infrastructure in India has been in terms of roads. And now we will modernize the railways. We've just started, Shireen. I say to every fellow Indian, believe in India. You don't know what is coming ahead of you. And I'm not a politician. I don't want to win any votes by saying
that's the second. That's the second time you said that, Rakesh. But let me move on.
I said in my TV interview, Diwali also, I see India far different from most Indians. Let me tell you. And I hope until now, reality has borne me out, and I'm confident it will borne me out in the future. Now is the time to grab opportunity.
Let me then. Yes, it is time to seize the opportunity, as you point out. So let's talk about. No, I get that. But let's talk about seizing the opportunity in a sector which is a sector that you've long focused on, Rakesh, and that has to do with financial services and the financial sector in general. You were very clear you wanted the government to press ahead as far as this.
I don't want to talk about any sector. I think there's going to be a relay race. All sectors are going to do well.
I'm asking
and hear me out. I'm fully invested.
I'm not asking you stock. I'm not asking you about stocks. I'm not asking you about stocks at all. I'm asking you.
See, I'm not so smart to be able to time the market very correctly. I don't consider myself so smart. Every sector is going to do well. There is going to be a relay race. It's a buffet. Buy what you want, but don't overeat.
Yes.
And I'm already fully invested, carrying the highest leverage of my life, right? So I have no scope to buy anything more.
You have no scope to buy anything more, fully invested, but Rakesh, I want to come back to the financial space.
Yeah, I think I'm bullish on financial.
And that's the headline that's flashing on our screen. That's the headline flashing on our screens. What do you make of this AMC, ARC structure that the government has decided to put in place? And additionally, talk about privatizing 2 public sector banks as well as 1 general insurance company. Now, of course, the execution, the timeline, and so on and so forth, it requires legislative amendments. That will go through and perhaps will take its own course at its own pace. But, directionally, what will this now mean as far as this ecosystem is concerned?
Actually, it's very positive. The government is withdrawing from business. The government has no business to be in business. First time we're talking about privatization instead of disinvestment. Government has been bold enough to talk. I think politically, the Prime Minister has decided he is going to take what steps are required in order to propel India's growth rates, whether they are politically acceptable to others or not. And Shirin, it's so difficult to bring change in India. I don't know for what these farmers are protesting. What are they protesting? So the biggest message of the budget is the government is going to do what it needs to do in order to propel growth and efficiently work for social justice. And social justice is not high taxation.
Yeah.
It's not robbing the rich and paying the poor.
Yes.
It's propelling growth, having a bigger economy, and using it justifiably for the right purposes.
Well, I think that was very well appreciated, the fact that we didn't see any higher taxes coming in, which was perhaps